New episode of the Riff Rundown. I hope this is finding you and yours doing well this weekend. My name is Angela Petrilli. I'm here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Today's episode is pre-recorded. I've gotten a ton of requests for this song. I'm really excited to teach it to you guys today. So we're going to be learning Wonderful tonight by Eric Clapton. Such a beautiful song geared towards all levels of guitar players. This is a really fun one. So have your electric guitar in standard tuning for this one today. And as always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including these Fishman Fluence pickups that I have in my Strat, you can go ahead and click the link in the video description below. And some new news. I just started a Patreon page, so if you guys want to check out all the cool exclusive stuff that's on there, including an exclusive Q&A and limited one-on-one guitar lessons, go ahead and check out my Patreon page. Link is in the description below too. So I would love to see you there. Now, before we get started, I like to ask a question, so let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite Eric Clapton song from any era. So that's the question for today. That's what I want to know. And get your guitars all tuned up and ready to go. So here is Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. So obviously, there's a lot of guitar parts going on in this song, but let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot to cover today. So that's the main intro there, that line that I just did. So say you wanted to play chords underneath it. The chords are going to be G to D to C to D. Okay? They're going to be the verse chords, which we're going to look at a moment. But first, let's go ahead and check out this intro. So we have 1, 2, 3 parts, okay? But again, I'm going to put it into 6 different sections. So know that there are some parts that repeat, and I will let you know when they happen. So here is the first part in section 1. So what's going on here is we're going to get our 3rd finger at the 10th fret of the B string. It's an A note. We're going to bend it up a whole step, bring it back to true, okay? First finger, I want you to play that G note on the 8th fret of the B string. Then go back to that A note, 10th fret. Okay, a little vibrato doesn't hurt too. Okay, now part 2, this is going to be a part that also repeats. Okay, it's going to sound like this. So, same motif there with that A note being bent up at the 10th fret. Okay, so that G note there, the 8th fret of the B string. We're going to resolve this phrase with an E note at the 9th fret of the G string. Just like that. So let's go ahead and do part 1 and part 2. Notice how there's a little bit of a pull off that we see there on that B string. I'll go ahead and do that again. Okay, so the next section is part 1 repeated. So just like that. So those are the first 3 parts. Now, for the second section, okay, part 1 and part 2 are exactly the same. We're not going to change a thing. It's that final section of section 2, okay? That climb, right? That walk up. Okay, so that sounds like this. And here's how we play that. So you're going to get your 3rd finger, placing that on the 10th fret, that B string. Okay, bending it, bringing it back to true, then playing G with your 1st finger on the 8th fret of the B string. Okay, from there, 3rd finger to the 10th fret, A. Sliding up to the 12th fret, B, to the 13th fret, C. Now we're going to get our 3rd finger to the 15th fret of that B string. We are going to bend up delicately a whole step. I want to hear the note as it comes back to true. Okay, and don't rush this. We don't want to, not so much. A little too country for this. We want it to have, right, just a little bit more of a nice movement, okay? Just like that, okay? Very cool slow hand move. So let's go ahead and do that line again. Don't overbend it, okay? So keep that in mind when you're playing that. So I'm going to go through the 2 sections of the intro right now, okay? And then we'll get on to those verses. So here we go, part 1. Part 2. Part 1 repeated. Section 2, part 1. Part 3, walk up. Just like that. So if we play it a little faster. Again, let that sustain out. Section 2. Then we get into those verses. Okay, again, those same chords, G, D, C, and D. Now, from watching some live versions, I noticed he plays some of those chords a little bit differently. So there's going to be some arpeggiating happening here. So something else to keep in mind, there are lots of different guitar layers here. So I encourage you, if you have a buddy that can play guitar with you, this is a really fun one to play with another player, okay, in the room with you. So, and if you have a looper, those are great too. All right, so the verses sound like this. That's going to be repeated twice. Again, those same 4 chords. When we are looking at G here, okay, we're going to play it in this fashion. First finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, D, 2nd finger, 4th fret of the G string, B as in boy, and then our 3rd finger on G, 5th fret of the D string. We are going to arpeggiate this starting from the G note 2 times. Something I want to mention, those of you who've been watching this riff rundown for a while may know that I like to hybrid pick quite a lot. I do it on my Instagram channel and when I do videos at Norms. It's a technique that's very comfortable for me. So when I am playing this, that is most comfortable. How I do this is the pick is being placed on the D string and G string. My middle finger is striking upward on the B string, like that. So pretty much anytime I play the high E string or the B string on this song, I'm generally going to be using that 2nd finger moving upward, okay? So striking from the bottom of the string up. So again, the strumming pattern here, or the picking pattern, okay, D string, G string, B string, twice. D string to B string. Okay, so that's our G chord. From there, we're going to go to this really cool way to play a D chord. Your 3rd finger should now be on the 4th fret of the D string, which is an F sharp. Your 1st finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string, A, and then your 2nd finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string, D. So there's our D chord, and we're going to strike it in that fashion: D string, G string, B string, to the G string, open. Okay, open E string. So now this is a 9 chord. Back to the B string, to the D string, to the B string. So just like that. From there, we're going to go to C. Okay, so again, picking pattern there. A string, D string, G string, D string, B string, using that middle finger if you're hybrid picking, G string, D string, G string. And again, similar similar strum or picking pattern here on the next chord. It's going to be a D chord. Okay, so D chord, we all know how to play it. Open D string, okay, to our first finger, okay, that A note, to the B string, back to the G string, okay, high E string using our middle finger, okay, and again, using your middle finger to play the B string, to your pick on the G string, back to the B string. Sounds like this, slowly. So just like that. So this repeats twice. I'll call out the chords. Here we go. G major. To D. To C. To D. So just like that. Let's do it without the commentary. That's what's happening there in the verses, that those 4 chords repeat twice. Now, getting into the pre-chorus, we're going to do a nice little walk-up. Sounds like this. Okay, so right there we have the pre-chorus and the chorus right next to each other. So with the pre-chorus, beautiful walk up here, very simple to do. Open A string, okay, to a B note, leading into our C chord. So your second finger, place that on the B note after you play that open A string. Third finger is going to start, okay, by playing the C note by itself. Then we're going to play the rest of the chord, okay, arpeggiated very similarly to how we did in the verses. Okay, now to our D major, again arpeggiated very similarly. Now here's the part that's interesting. We have a beautiful walk down. So what we're going to do here is we're going from G to D over F sharp to an E minor. So get your third finger, okay, plant it on the 3rd fret of the B string. That's a D note. Don't move it. We're going to need it later, okay? Your second finger, placing that on the 3rd fret of the E string. That's our G note. So play the low E string, D string, G string, B string. That's what it should sound like. I'll go ahead and play that again. Okay. Don't move the 3rd finger. Okay. It's going to be a nice pivot point moment. Bring your thumb over to the F sharp. If that's not comfortable, go ahead and use your first finger. Okay, for me, I like the thumb. First finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. That's going to be our A note. Strike all of the same strings. Just like that. So from G to F sharp, or G to D over F sharp. There we go. Just like that. From there, we go to an E minor. Okay, again, using our 2nd and 3rd fingers, okay? To the best of my ear, that's what it sounds like. So we're going to go open E string, A string, D string, G string, and then E string, moving that back, E string, B string, G string, and D string. You can use the pick for all of those notes if you want, or you can hybrid pick them, up to you. So that walk down sounds like this. And that is our pre-chorus. Our chorus is pretty simple and sweet and short, okay? C to D. after that line, we go into section 2 of the intro guitar solo. Okay? So, from the pre-chorus, and the walk-up sounds like this. Now, second line. That's what's happening there. It's pretty cool. We see a lot of the same little themes come back into the song. So after that happens, we go into a second verse. Again, G, D, C, and D that are arpeggiated. Listen, and if you wanted to strum it, sounds good too. Again, lots of guitar layers in the song. We then go to another pre-chorus into a chorus. Now, there is a beautiful little lick that happens right before the bridge. Beautiful little line. That sounds like that. So let me show you how to play this. So we're going to get our first finger on the 7th fret of the G string. We're going to hammer onto the 9th fret with our 3rd finger. Just like that. From there, we're going to get our first finger on the 8th fret of the B string. That's a G note. From there, get that 3rd finger, sliding it from the 10th fret of the B string to the 12th. And then 1st finger landing on that D note, 10th fret of the E string. So that sounds like this. So far, slowly. Okay, nice and delicate. If you want to make it louder, that's cool too. Okay, so that's part 1. Part 2 is going to sound like this. We're going to start, okay, with our 1st finger planted on the D note, 10th fret of the high E string, hammering on to the E note, 12th fret. Going back to the D note, 10th fret. Going to get our 3rd finger here on the 12th fret of the B string, that's a B note. Quick slide back to the A, 10th fret. Okay, landing on G. And then finishing the line here with our 1st finger or 3rd finger, depending on what's more comfortable for you. Okay, 7th fret of the G string. Then ending on the 9th fret of the G string. So part 2 sounds like this. Or heck, you can even use your 2nd finger if you want it. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the whole thing. Part 1. Part 2. Beautiful little line. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. So there it is. Sounds particularly awesome on a Strat. All right, so what's happening next is we're going to look at the bridge. So we're going to see a lot of the similar chords that we saw in the pre-chorus, okay? So the bridge sounds like this. So a lot of the same chords that we are seeing here. And the only thing is we have that little tag at the end, right, with that C and D repeat. So again, arpeggiated the same way, C chord that we saw, okay, in our pre-chorus, then to D major, D, F sharp, A. Those are our tonal centers. Then to that walk down from G. F sharp using the thumb, or if you want to use your first finger and second finger to play the F sharp and the A respectively, you can do that too. Thumb is a little more comfortable for me. That's what I like. Okay, so again, the strings we are striking: E string, D string, G string, and B string. Two-hour E minor, E, G, and B, 1 flat 3 5. Okay, C to D repeated twice. C to D to C for this final D chord, just strum it and let it ring. And that's it. All right. So again, the bridge, here we go. Like that. Then we get into our guitar solo from there. So our guitar solo, very similar, okay, to what we did in the intro. So the guitar solo starts with segment 2. It starts with this. Okay, so that starts the guitar solo there after the bridge. Now, the next segment of that post-bridge guitar solo sounds like this. There's one note that's different, okay? And we see it in part 2. So what happens is we start with an E note. So how that's played is this way. So we have segment 2, okay, of post-bridge guitar solo. Sounds like this. Start with the E note. You can go ahead and use your second finger, the E note that is placed on the 9th fret of the G string. Now, getting that 3rd finger, 10th fret of the B string, our A note, bending it up a whole step. Okay, nice pull off there if you want. To that 8th fret of the B string G, landing on E, 9th fret, G string. Okay, and from there, the walk-up line is exactly the same. So, to summarize, okay, to put it in context, here is that guitar solo after the bridge. Sounds like this. And play along. Segment 2, part 1. Here's the variation. Okay, let's go ahead and do that a little bit faster, shall we? Here we go from the top guitar solo. Pretty good stuff. So from there we go into a verse 3, into a pre-chorus, into a chorus, and then out. So since we have wrapped the song, great job everybody. Let's go ahead and now summarize with all the parts we have done. So let's go ahead and look at that intro again. So here we go. 2, intro. All right, a little vibrato, never hurt anybody. Here we go to the verses. I'm going to play it just a little bit slower, so here we go. Repeat. To the pre-chorus. Now into line 2 from the intro. And again from there, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus. Now we go into the bridge line that we were the line that we see before the bridge. Okay, so here we go. That leads beautifully into the bridge, C major. Into our guitar solo. And that's the song. Some really, really beautiful parts. Again, something here for everybody. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. Something here for everyone. Such a beautiful song, okay, with some beautiful chords. And again, lots of layers. So as you notice, sometimes as I'm arpeggiating some of these chords, sometimes I'm going a little bit out of the pattern set, and that's okay, because again, there's lots of layers here. So don't feel constricted to, oh my gosh, I have to. If you're feeling something that's going, again, to really add to the beautiful soulfulness of this song, I mean, really, you could even do different inversions of these chords if you wanted. Again, just to really build the beautiful story that's being told here. Such an incredible song. So I will leave that up to you. Again, with these lessons, I plant the seeds. I want you guys to be creative. So I plant the seeds. I want you to feel inspired every time we do these lessons and we hang out together here on the Riff Rundown. So again, this song, there's a lot of room to go ahead and play other inversions of these chords and really layer up guitars. It's really a lot of fun. So again, I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these lessons week after week. It is such a blast. And most certainly, I want to thank all of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in week after week and hanging out with me. And again, subscribing to the channel and all that good stuff. Again, as I mentioned at the top of the hour, I have started a new Patreon page. So you can go to the link in the video description below to check that out. Lots of cool exclusive stuff. And again, really, really excited about it. So would love to see you there. As always, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. Play a lot of music, folks. I will see you next time. Such a blast. Thank you all so, so much. Take care.